Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI. Today, we're digging into a recent TechCrunch article by Dominic Midori Davis, published on March 20th, 2026. It details a pretty surprising, and I think you'll agree, bold proposal coming from one of the tech industry's own leaders. So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll cover the CEO's unprecedented stance. Then, we'll look at the powerful argument that our youth are part of a massive social experiment. After that, we'll explore the comparison being made to the fight against tobacco, look at the growing global movement, and finally, we'll wrap up by discussing what this might mean for the future of tech policy. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. Who exactly is taking this stand, and what are they really asking for?
Well, it's Bill Reddy, the CEO of Pinterest. In a Time op-ed, he has made a very direct and public appeal for governments to legally ban social media access for anyone under the age of 16. This is significant because it makes him one of the very few top executives to advocate for this level of restriction.
So, why such a drastic proposal? Let's dive into the justification here and explore the reasoning behind this call to action. The argument is framed in a really powerful way. Reddy argues that children today are essentially unknowing participants in what he calls the largest social experiment in history, simply because they have completely unfiltered access to these platforms. And this isn't just some abstract idea. The justification is actually rooted in research that links this unfiltered access to very real negative outcomes for young people. We're talking about increased rates of depression and anxiety, and even lower concentration skills. Now, to really contextualize the need for this kind of regulation, a powerful analogy is being used to challenge the industry's current way of thinking. The core of the argument really hinges on this stark comparison. For industries like tobacco and alcohol, we accept strict, age-based regulations because we see them as necessary for public health. But Reddy argues that social media was developed with, quote, insufficient forethought about the consequences for its youngest users. And this leads to what is probably the most provocative part of his argument. It's a direct challenge to his peers. He says that the inaction from today's tech leaders sounds a lot like the resistance from tobacco executives, who, in his words, had to be shamed and sued into submission. Okay, so this proposal isn't happening in a vacuum. It's actually part of a much larger international trend that's been gaining momentum. You have a significant number of countries already taking action. Nations like Australia, Spain, and Indonesia have announced bans. France and Germany are moving forward with restrictions. And even here in the US, various states are exploring similar measures. The point is, this isn't an isolated idea. It reflects a really widespread concern among lawmakers all over the world. All right, for our final section, let's pull all of this together and really talk about the long-term implications. What does a call to action like this truly signify for the future of tech policy? So it all really boils down to this one big question. What is the real significance when a major tech CEO starts calling for more government regulation on his own industry? The key takeaway here is that we could be witnessing a major turning point. For years, the tech industry has relied almost entirely on self-regulation. A call to action like this from an insider suggests a fundamental shift toward accepting government intervention as a necessary tool, especially when it comes to protecting the safety of minors online. Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, use the QR code at the beginning of this video to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. Please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel and like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.